There's a new C word in news media. Harvey, Irma, Jose, wildfires that don't get people names, but if you ask me, that's a DeVos. With all these natural disasters increasing in frequency and severity, is the media finally ready to use the C word? It feels a bit like the end of days, doesn't it? It's as if after Trump picked a climate change denying non-scientist to head NASA, Mother Nature was all, listen, I'm just gonna shake the world like an Etch-a-Sketch and start over. After this month, we now know what happens when up to 50 inches of rain falls on Texas, and the most powerful hurricane ever recorded in the Atlantic reaches landfall. And we also know what the news media tends to do for ratings. Throws its reporters into what seems like some bizarre Japanese game show called Weathermen vs. Wild.
Viewers at home, as you're watching, Mike is bracing, literally. These strong winds are not letting up.
We are on the 5th floor of the hotel. Down.
But it is quickly going to turn from a wind and structural story to this flooding story. Here comes another gust.
Oh, Ed, you lose. If you had just held on a little longer, you might have caught the Emmy that we threw into the wind, or it would have hit you in the head. But beyond endangering reporters, how has the media been covering the hurricanes, especially when it comes to what's been causing their unusual intensity? Some, like the BBC, Democracy Now!, and Al Jazeera, did discuss how warmer oceans and sea level rise make hurricanes and storm surges worse. But other outlets have struggled to have that conversation, like this Virginia Fox affiliate in one of the most painful interactions ever broadcasted.
I've heard the climate change theory bantered about.
Yeah, that's not something you want to wade into. It's very complicated.
Just a theory that I heard.
Well, no, I've been reading articles about it.
Climate change, don't talk about it. Okay.
Well, we could talk about it, just not now.
Ooh, someone's been left out of the Exxon bribes. And as awkward as that interaction was, it was an improvement from Fox's usual take on climate change on full display just a couple of months ago.
A new scientific report says the Earth's 6th mass extinction event is already well underway. So let's take a look at the massive devastation currently taking place across the country. Oh, the humanity. How will we ever rebuild? The apes will soon rule the Earth. Wait, hang on. Things are actually fine. We're all fine.
We're all fine? Fox News anchors have literally become the dog engulfed in flames meme. Also, are we fine? Why don't we check in with those same cameras right now? This is fine. This is fine. But it makes sense that Fox is skittish about the C word given that it takes its cues from the Doomsday Whisperer, who as of this taping has had at least one of his mansions damaged by these hurricanes, which means we're just 3 Trump mansion destructions away from the administration having its first serious discussion about building floating mansions. Trump officials have been unified in their message that the real danger of climate change is talking about it. We heard it from We Should Get Rid of Energy Secretary, ooh, I get to be Energy Secretary, Rick Perry, when asked about it pointedly.
Do you think Harvey will make the White House consider doing more on climate change, on warming seas, like in the Gulf of Mexico?
This is not the time to be having that conversation if you want to know the truth of the matter. I'm focused on search and rescue.
And also from the head of dismantling the Environmental Protection Agency, Scott Pruitt.
I find it striking in the midst of a storm, getting ready to hit Florida, that we're trying to assess cause and effect of a storm. There'll be a day and time to talk about that.
And that day and time will be after we've safely gathered all the wealthy survivors onto a spaceship taking us to the Elysium space station to escape an uninhabitable planet. But wait a minute, it seems like we're always experiencing some record-breaking disaster. Irma came right after Harvey, and Jose might be on the way too, to say nothing of all the disasters around the world, including Miss DeVos. Are climate deniers holding off on the conversation until disasters just become constant and they never have to talk about it? Because at this point, we're all catching on to these cynical meathead blowhards.
Oh, the humanity. How will we ever rebuild? The apes will soon rule the Earth.
Oh no, I'm up to my waist in floodwater and my car blew away. No, I'm serious right now. I just don't know how to stop being sarcastic. Help me, I can't feel my legs. Really? Also, it's pretty alarming that the people who say we can't help victims and talk about the cause of the storm at the same time are the people running the government. They can't multitask? Wait, does the fact that we're helping victims of Hurricane Harvey mean that no one's watching the nuclear arsenal? Because if so, I could totally use an ICBM. It goes beyond the administration and right-wing media, though. While covering Hurricane Harvey, neither ABC nor NBC aired a single segment about the connections between severe weather and global warming. CNN and MSNBC did do slightly better, maybe trying to compensate for ad revenue they've gotten over the years from ExxonMobil, the Koch brothers, and Bosley Hair Restoration. Shills. According to one study, following news that Earth was going through its hottest span ever, CNN aired less than 5 minutes of climate change coverage, but 23 minutes of fossil fuel ads. Want to know what happened to the reporters who pushed for more climate change coverage?
I'm leaning my entire body against. 1 second.
Hang on, Sarah, the Emmy should be hurtling towards you any moment now. So from here on out, will the media finally take the threat of global warming seriously? And hey, who knows? Opt for less Coke industry money and more baldness industry money? That is, will they start using the C word and stop acting like actual C words? Cowards. The C word is cowards. Duh. What do you think it was? Stop. Thank you so much again for watching Newsbroke, and please subscribe right now. And also, I hope that everyone is safe and recovering and rebuilding if you were in the craziness that was Hurricane Harvey or Irma or anywhere. Also, what have you noticed in terms of climate change coverage? Is your local news station reporting on climate change at all? Are they making those connections? I want to know what's going on in your town. So, yeah. See you next time.